Hi, my name is Audrey and I like donuts.
Don't we all? All right. So we're looking at order of operations. So we've been talking about adding, we've been talking about subtracting, we've been talking about multiplying and dividing. We've also talked about exponents, and we talked about square roots. And really square roots are exponents. It's just a different way of writing an exponent. And so square roots and exponents fall into the same category. So that's something important to keep in mind. Here are our order of operations. When we are simplifying expressions, I know you've seen this before. When we're simplifying expressions, we do our parentheses first, then the exponents, then multiply or divide from left to right. So I would almost correct the book here and say multiply or divide, whichever one comes first. It isn't always multiply and then divide. It's multiply or divide, whichever one comes first from left to right. And then we add or subtract from left to right, depending on which one comes first. You may have heard this referred to as PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Lots of ways to remember it, but this is our order of operations. I'm going to do two examples, and I'm going to let you try a couple on your own. So if we follow our order of operations, we follow our PEMDAS, there are no parentheses, there are no exponents. So I do any multiplying or dividing from left to right. I'm going to do the 2 times 3 right there. So I'm going to do 2 times 3 first to get 6. In terms of showing your work, I do need to see every step of PEMDAS. Yes, every letter in PEMDAS deserves to have its own step. So parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract, they all need to have their own line if we've done that. So we did multiplication, I rewrote everything. Now I'm going to do adding or subtracting from left to right. 15 minus 6 is going to give me 9, plus 1 is going to give me 10. To get my final answer. You may have heard this referred to as a triangle, as a tornado of math, or something. You can certainly draw those lines, but I'm not going to require it. Following our PEMDAS for the next one here, again, there are no parentheses. You don't have to worry about that. There is an exponent. So I'm going to do 3 times 3, 3 squared, and get 9. And then I'm going to rewrite everything else, because there's only one exponent, and it gets its own step. Next, I'm going to do my division step. And so I'm going to multiply or divide, so I've got a division. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And I rewrite everything else. Then I'm going to subtract. 12 minus 9 is going to give me 3. Plus 5 is going to give me 8. So our final answer then was 8. All right, what I'd like you to do is I want you to try these 3 on your own. I actually want you to pause it, try the 3 problems, and see what you get. I'm going to then put the answers up. I'm going to put the answers up, and if you don't get them right, I need you to click on either the linked video, if you're on a Chromebook or a computer, there's a linked video, or I need you to look for the videos below this video if you're on iPad or a iPhone, Samsung, whatever, a mobile device other than a Chromebook. And so I'm going to put the answers. I want you to compare your answer to this answer. If you get it wrong, take it upon yourself to actually look at how it's done. If you got it right, awesome. You don't need to watch the video, move on. If you get it wrong, use this opportunity to fix mistakes. Don't just accept wrong answers. Don't just say, oh, I got it wrong, whatever. No, don't accept incorrect answers. Take it upon yourself to learn how you did it, do it correctly. I will point out before you start, that is 5.4, not number 5.4. So that is 5.4. Okay, pause it, try it on your own. I'm assuming you paused it, I'm assuming you tried it on your own. The correct answer for this one is 48. The correct answer for this one is 2.6. And again, click on the linked video for each one if you got it right or wrong, or excuse me, if you got it wrong. And the last one here, the correct answer is 2. So watch those linked videos, watch those example videos. There'll be example number 1, so example 1, example 2, below this on the form, example 3. So watch the video for whichever ones that you got wrong. Moving on. Sometimes you'll see these giant fraction bars. Fraction bars, radical symbols, absolute value symbols, they're all ways of grouping things. So even though they are not, they're not written in, if you have a big old fraction bar, Everything on the top is in parentheses. They're not written there, but you can imagine that they're there. You can write them in even if you want. And a big fraction bar denotes a grouping. It's like parentheses. Same thing with the bottom. Everything on the bottom is in parentheses, which means we do the parentheses first. Now there's two sets, so you've got to do them both. We'll pick the top just because. So here's the first step. The second step then, this is where things are going to get big and you're going to need some space, but 2 times -4 is 8. And then the bottom is still there. The next step then, I would do 8 plus 22 and get 30. Okay, so I've done the top set of parentheses. Now we need the bottom set of parentheses. So the 30 is still there. 4 squared is 16. I know it's a lot of work. 16 minus 9 then is going to give me 7. Is that right? Did I subtract correctly? Yep, 7. Now 30 divided by 7, before you try and reach for a calculator or anything, or before you set up any crazy calculator stuff, 30 divided by 7, you could certainly do this if you wanted, but that's a fraction. That's 30/7. I can simplify that fraction. In fact, it's already reduced. It's a reduced fraction. You have to reduce it. 30/7. 7 goes into 30 how many times? Well, 7 goes into 30, 4 times? And there'd be 2 7s left over. 7 times 4 is 28, plus 2 more is 30. So 30/7, you're done. I mean, that's it. That's a reduced fraction. And then if we simplify it any further, it'd be 4 2/7. So you could divide, but that's going to be a nasty decimal. You're not going to like that decimal. But 4 2/7 is a perfectly acceptable answer. You've got 3 more here. Try these 3. Again, pause it. Really try hard. Take your time. Really work through and be careful. Show all the steps. I'm just going to put the answers and then follow the linked videos or the videos below the forum here to see which ones you got wrong, which ones you got right. Assuming you paused it, if you haven't, do that. Assuming you paused and assuming you tried it on your own, I'm just going to put the answers. So the answer to the first one here is either 2 1/5, or if you chose to go with the decimal form, 2.2. Next one here is -3. And the last one, plus or minus 21. And yes, the plus or minus is important. If you got 21, you don't need to watch the linked video. However, you should put a plus or minus in there because it is a square root. So if you didn't get those answers, again, this is example 4, example 5, and example 6. So you either need to click on the linked video or watch those example videos, whichever one you got wrong. You don't have to watch all 3 unless you got all 3 wrong below. Last one, this will be example 7. I do want you to try it. On previous assessments, on previous homeworks, you've shown me that you know how to substitute. So this shouldn't be a big stretch. I want you to substitute and evaluate this expression for the given value of x. Pause it, try it on your own. Assuming you pause it, assuming you try it on your own, the correct answer for this one is 3. If you did not get 3, watch the linked video or go to example 7 to see how that one's done. Okay, I tried to make this as fast as possible, unless, of course, you need to watch any of those videos, then you can really pick and choose how long this video ends up being for you. So good luck on the questions afterwards, and we'll see you in class.